All right, y'all. Uh-oh.
What's up, y'all? Welcome or welcome back. We're going to do a reading on Tony Buzbee, the lawyer that is working on behalf of victims of Diddy and Jay-Z, I believe. I think. So, anyway, everything I say is alleged. I could be spot on picking up rumors, or I could be absolutely wrong. We're going to jump into the reading. So, Tony Buzbee, show me his current general energy. Tony Buzbee. Tony Busby's current general energy. Eight of Cups. So he's leaving behind something. He's walking away from something. Or this could even be him traveling, perhaps. But let's see. Walking away what? From a community, of finances, a family. I don't know. What is he walking away from? I wonder what his zodiac is. Tony Busby, current general energy. Anything else before we clarify? Tony Busby, general energy. All right. I'm getting defensive energy as well. Getting geared up for a battle. What is he walking away from or ending? Tony Busby for his current general energy. Ten of Pentacles again when I break the deck. Show me. Betrayal, heartbreak, interesting. He is, and again, he might be traveling. He is over some type of situation here. So I don't know. On some level, I feel like maybe he feel like he got roped up into something. Um, this could also be him fighting, obviously, to not reveal his client's identity, because I believe that is the motion that Jay Z possibly put forward, and or Diddy. Um, yeah, I feel like, yeah, he doesn't want to reveal, which makes sense, right? All right, so let's get these up, and I want to see what type of person he is, because there's a lot of rumors out and people saying that he's a very sketchy lawyer, etc. So we're just going to take a look and see what type of person is Tony Buzbee. We want clarity and the truth, please and thank you. What type of person is Tony Buzbee? Does he have good morals? Does he have low morals? um, and that's subjective, right? What type of person is he? A trustworthy person, honest person? He's a good lawyer. Is he really caring? Is he the opposite? What type of person is Tony Buzbee? Clarity, please, and thank you. What type of person is Tony Buzbee? Seems like he could be a very logical person, a very thorough person in terms of like investigating and things like that, going over things with a fine tooth comb, maybe. And that's interesting. I never noticed this on this card before. So we got the Hermit, which is a police or investigator here. And it's kind of like this person is walking that yellow line, kind of like they do a sobriety test or whatever. But maybe he walks, maybe he's a good person. Maybe we're going to keep going and then we'll clarify. But, or maybe he walks the fine line between moral and immoral. Again, subjective. Show me more about who Tony Buzbee is. There may be some type of partnership here. Maybe it could be a romantic relationship, but Two of Cups. Let's see. But again, it kind of brings me back to that fine line in between victory. Maybe he's a very successful lawyer. Maybe he's a very successful person. Um, all right. Let's go ahead and clarify. All right, show us this, please, and thank you for what type of person he is. I don't think he minds getting dirty. We have a lot of battle energy here. A lot of wounded warrior, like doesn't give up. They're very relentless, possibly. Hmm. Again, saying that he's very intelligent. Maybe he's been doing this for a long time, 16 or more years. I don't know. Very much celebrated, but again, I feel like he don't mind getting a little dirty. I feel like he's walking a thin line, possibly. All right. But yeah, it is keeps hitting on that he doesn't want to identify Jane Doe and others, right? Which again makes sense. Um, and we can look at it both ways. We can say, oh, he's being nefarious. That's why he doesn't want them to know. Or he could just simply be protecting his client, right? Now, um, does Tony Buzbee have legit recordings of Jay-Z um, doing nefarious things? So whether that be him trying to bribe people, whether he's incriminating himself or anything like that. Does Tony Buzbee have legit uh, footage of any sort of Jay-Z? Yes or no? Does he have legit footage? Huh? Does he have legit footage of Jay-Z doing anything, saying anything nefarious that could be considered nefarious? So far, it looks like he does. But the Five of Swords is here. So that shows about motives and intent. It's a little shady, but we'll come back and clarify that. Six of Pentacles. So it could be something that could be seen as nefarious or flipped as nefarious. So I could say, what he's doing or saying right here is because of ABC, and it may not necessarily be exactly what it is. But like I said, we'll come back and clarify anything else for if Tony Buzbee has legit footage of Jay-Z saying or doing anything nefarious. Ended with the Eight of Cups. So there's some type of ending coming forth soon. And we did say that in Jay-Z's reading yesterday, where I feel like Jay-Z has done so many things. Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. But this one is not giving truth. And that's just, I'm not here to tell y'all what y'all want to hear. I'm just telling y'all what I see in the cards, and that just is what it is, like it or not. So let's go ahead and clarify. That's never going to be the case here. That's just not how I roll. When I'm reading the cards in that moment, that's what I'm doing. I don't have time to think about, oh, that's not what they want to hear. I don't. My reactions show it all. So yeah. All right. Show me this here. And because of this videos or so-called evidence, so I do feel like he has some recordings possibly, but they could possibly be misconstrued on some level. Like you can argue the video or recording either way, I feel. So because of this so-called evidence that he has, he feels pretty good about his success in this particular case. But yeah, I keep seeing an ending. Show me more. Yeah, it keeps giving me like, why Five of Swords though? Eight of Pentacles. I don't think that it's a smoking gun, again, because I feel like it could be perceived multiple ways, but that's just how it goes with people in general. You got people over here that believe that, people over here believe that, this people over here believe something else, Everybody always gonna have a group of people that they could resonate with. So I do feel like, again, I do feel like he could be a little shady. But at the same time, again, like I said, that's suggestive. That's subjective to each individual, what they think is moral or immoral. And you know, when you in that industry and you work with certain type of people, that's just how people roll. Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. So he may feel like even if he is crossing the line a little bit, he might feel like it's for good reason. You know what I mean? So kind of like a villain that has a cause, for example. But I don't think that this is a smoking gun. I really so far don't see this particular allegation against Jay-Z going anywhere. Um, I don't. I would love to tell y'all otherwise, but I don't right now. Not to say that somebody else can come up and say something and that goes further. But this particular one, I'm not seeing that. And I'm not aiming for just this particular one, but that's the feeling I get with this spread. Um, let us do this one to clarify one more time, then we'll move on. Do I want to use this one? I want to use this deck. They got mixed up somehow. Is that all of them? Yeah, okay. Show me more about if he has legit. I don't, and then as I look at more at this may be, like I said, for the most part, I'm going to lean towards it could be viewed either way. It could be viewed different ways depending on the individual watching or whatever. But the more I look at this spread, it might not be legit. Or it might be used in a deceptive way. So let's go ahead. And I hate for it to seem like I'm taking up for people that are not good people in totality, but I'm going to tell you what I see. Show me more if this legit. Seven of Swords again. So something funky about these so-called recordings that he said he has. I can accomplish what I set my mind to. Like I said, a villain with a purpose. Not that he's a villain, but that's the example that's coming to mind. And then we have guilt. Friendship. I understand a friend is in my life for a reason. And then growth. I want to expand my consciousness and awareness. So yeah, that's the vibes. So let's get these up. What is Tony Buzbee's honest, genuine thoughts and feelings about Jane Doe that is accusing Jay-Z? How does he honestly feel about her story? How does Tony Buzbee honestly, genuinely feel about Jane Doe's story about Jay-Z? Ten of Pentacles. Show me more about how Tony Buzbee. It's like he's just seeing dollars. I don't know. It's like I don't really care if it's the truth or not. After this, for the love of money. Nine of Wands, that's Wounded Warrior. And this could be, he could have been trying to get Jay-Z for a long time and he's not giving up type thing. And I'm not saying that he doesn't have a legit reason. I'm just telling y'all what's right here. And then the Nine of Wands, she's coming off very much like she don't care. Show me more about how Tony Buzbee feels about Jane Doe's story when it comes to Jay-Z. Seven of Wands, defensive. Seven of Swords, he doesn't believe it. Or he's saying, as she's telling her story and giving him the details and he's writing it down, putting it into, legal form. He's like, well, we can't say that or we can't do that. We need to make it more believable. Or are you sure? Like, that's the vibes. I really wanted to come here and say like, oh, he's a, and nobody's perfect, right? But, oops. And so he's saying there's some conflict with her story when it comes to how it would appear or come off when it comes to legal energy. And some of it doesn't sound believable to him, in my opinion. But let's go ahead and clarify. Why the Ten of Pentacles for how Tony honestly, genuinely feels about Jane Doe's story when it comes to Jay-Z. Show me. Judgment, Ace of Swords. That's under that Ten of Pentacles. Again, is giving, so I can say, I can look at it multiple ways, obviously, right? I don't really care about the truth. I'm just checking for the dollars and, trying to get this person. But also he could be saying to his client, like, we're going to have to word this a certain way or woo woo because this is how it's going to be perceived and this might be the right word you want to use. And not that there's necessarily something wrong with that. I don't know. Unless it's just flat out a lie, right? Yeah. Why the Nine of Wands? Maybe some things he said need to leave out or some things you need to put in, and then again, illusion energy is here. Why the Seven of Wands? For how he feels about Jane Doe's story. And also this could just be him filling the client in about how people might jump on her or, not believe her and things like that. But he might drop her as a client. Maybe I'm not sure what I'm seeing. And this could be multiple things, but I keep seeing being done with something. Why the Seven of Swords? Illusions. Seven of Swords and then Seven of Cups. That's illusion on top of illusion. For me. It just may be something, as something comes up where this is like I really can't like go forward with this anymore because now it's kind of interfering with other cases or how I'm being perceived and how my other clients may be being perceived. So I'm going to clarify it one last time. Tell us a little bit more about how Tony Buzbee feels about his client Jane Doe's story when it comes to Jay-Z. How does he honestly feel? Failure. I understand that a mistake is only an opportunity to learn. And so that could be to the question and/or also about, like I said, he might have been trying to get Jay-Z for a long time. Yeah. And then I keep kind of feeling like trial and error with certain things in terms of like public and everything like that or law. Self-esteem, judgment. Understand that everyone has their own unique past and challenges. Self-esteem, I possess gifts of the soul that benefit me and others. Meaning like he's not necessarily judging her story. He's just trying to help whatever way he can, the client and himself, okay? All right, he might feel this person has courage and feel like this could be successful. Again, based off of the traction that it already has. The legs that it's already grown, So is Tony Buzbee being honest with his claims when it comes to Jay-Z? And then we'll ask about Diddy. Just for argument's sake, just for content's sake, right? Trying to ask some stuff that people may want to know. Is Tony Buzbee being honest about his claims against Jay-Z? Is he being honest about his claims when it comes to Jay-Z? That didn't flip over, that's where we ended. Is Tony being honest about his claims when it comes to Jay-Z? Is he being honest about his claims when it comes to Jay-Z? So we have Page of Swords, Justice, Anything else for if Tony is being honest? I think that was the world card. We'll check in a second. Yeah, it was the world card. Okay. Anything else? Well, let's clarify. Is he being honest about his claims when it comes to Jay-Z? We got half and half, leaning more towards no. And I really hate to say that. So I don't know all the claims there is about Jay-Z. Maybe they're all just sexual in nature. I feel like if more of these claims was about business and stealing, and maybe even unalivings, then we would get more of a yes, if that's the case. And maybe there are some of those. I don't know. But we getting half and half, really. So show me justice. Crossroads, Four of Wands, want it to be in reverse, Eight of Wands. We do have some incoming communication, and this might be that this part is done. This specific thing. Show me this last card. See, I keep seeing and Jay-Z walking away, allegedly. Anything else? We ended with the Ten of Wands, with the Queen, which I feel like is Jane Doe. Nine of Cups under there, Three of Cups, Queen of Pentacles, Seven of Pentacles in the Tower. So some type of plan blows up here with the Empress because the motives are sketchy. That's what I should have pulled last time, but let's pull them now to see what comes out. What was the question? What was the damn question? I don't know. Let's just see what come out. So many things going through my head. The sweet waters, sensuality, romance, enjoyment, fertility, and balance. Damn, what was the question? I asked already about how he felt about the client's story. I'm asking about, let me pause it. Oh, I'm asking about his honesty with the claims against Jay-Z. Okay. Plenty, prosperity, receiving the fullness of life. And then here, psychic abilities, acting on visions is destined. Don't hold back. It's time. Go for it. Dive in. I was trying to get two for each card that came out. And I think it's one that flipped over. Is it? Maybe not. No. Current dreams, future realities, new beginnings. So one more. Okay, there we go. What really matters? Reflect, reprioritize the water carrier. So aside from that, it's showing me like this is something that has to happen. It's this whole thing going on with this circle of street thugs, police, law, and the world in general. This is cleansing energy where we're allowing things so that you can move on. So again, it's like, and this came through on the CEO Healthcare Part 2 reading, where Jesus is dying for the sins, and now we can like move on past it. So we're having people carry the sins of everybody involved in that mess so that we can be forgiven type vibes. You know, may not exactly be that, but that's the vibes, okay? But is he being honest here? It seems like the motive is mainly money, to be honest. And also, I feel like he just, even though he may know, allegedly, he may or may not know that some of these things are not true. But again, he just feels like he's guilty because he has done a lot of other things, allegedly. Okay. Tony Buzbee a honest lawyer? Let's just ask that, get that out the way. Is Tony Buzbee allegedly an honest lawyer? Is his intentions pure? We'll say that. So whether he's always perfectly doing the law or not, is his intentions pure as a lawyer? Is Tony Buzbee's intentions, ooh, child. Okay. Is Tony Buzbee's intentions pure as a lawyer? Is Tony Buzbee's intentions pure as a lawyer? Sus energy, defensive energy, appeal, battle energy. So far I'm getting no's. The queen is up for interpretation, but again, for me, but we're going to go ahead and clarify in a moment. Is Tony Buzbee pure intentions as a lawyer? Okay. 4 of Pentacles and a Hangman, and the one that fell on the floor is the Tower. 7 of Pentacles here. This is a plan to take people down, take their money. And we'll look at him with Diddy a little bit as well. And I need y'all to understand that for those that need to hear this, some of y'all don't, if the shoe fits, if it don't, okay? But a person can only say either one of two things. Either they're saying I'm being honest, or they say I'm lying, right? And when people come forth and tell their stories, in terms of victims, either they're telling the truth or they're lying. Like and of course we got the middle ground. I don't think everything is black and white, right? But when y'all go and say, oh, that's victim blaming or shaming, or this person's telling the truth, they can only be telling the truth or a lie, right? Like, it's not always going to be a lie. It's not always going to be a truth. It's just like, I just don't get it. And I know that Jay-Z is allegedly a horrible person. And again, I've seen it in my own cards. So I agree. But I have to say that this particular accusation does not seem to be the truth. And I could be wrong. But I just say that to say that it's only 2 ways that this can go. I just need y'all to know that. All right. So, is his intentions good when he, as a lawyer? Now, I feel like he is very good at manipulating information and evidence to appear one way when it's actually another. All right, show me this. Excuse me, my stomach is just, we might have some wild news coming through soon. Usually, as weird as it sounds, that's what that means. And it may or may not be connected to this. But yeah, I do see that he does have a reputation, and I'm perceiving a lot of that to be true in the negative. So when people say that he, a little sketchy, I feel like that could be true here. It seems like he's done a lot of things to further his career and his position and his status. For some reason, I feel like this is kind of telling me his personal life. I don't know if that has anything to do with what's going on or anything we may see, but it keeps showing me this Empress energy. And that could be, the Jane Doe. We don't know who Jane Doe is, right? So this person may have children or whatever the case is. I wonder if he could run for some other position in the future. I don't know, but it is talking about his status or whatever. And I wonder if he does a lot of cases that have like the same circumstances. So whether it be crimes against women or children or trafficking and a lot of assault. I forget the word I was finna pair with that, but that type of energy because maybe he perceives it as being successful. But I don't really see him being a really honest person. And that's not really surprising. He's a lawyer. Not that all lawyers are bad or dishonest or anything. I would not group everybody into the same box. But from what we've seen, from my perception, it's not a lot of high status people that are honest. So, um, and that's what the cards are telling me right now. I'm trying to think of what else we can ask. Show me what Tony Buzbee can expect when it comes to, um, you. Yeah, we'll ask this, and I got to remember ask about Diddy. What can Tony Buzbee expect when it comes to this um, accusations he's putting forth towards Jay-Z? What can he expect from tours surrounding him when it comes to his suit against Jay-Z? We have the Ace of Wands. What can Tony expect when it comes to the suit he has against Jay-Z? Tours from surrounding. What's next when it comes to the lawsuit against Jay-Z for Tony Buzbee? Okay. I'm so tired. This really be taking a lot out your girl. And I just spent an hour and a half doing part 2 of the CEO unalive. Okay, show me this for what we can see next for Tony Buzbee when it comes to his allegations against Jay-Z. I just see some good news for him, so maybe he won't be compelled to reveal his client. But let me keep going. Or maybe it's like a time frame on it. Like we can keep it under wraps until then, which makes sense anyway because we'll probably know at the trial if it's public, maybe, or at some point we will know. But why the Hermit? Keep seeing a man, woman, and child with abuse here. Keep seeing a relationship, or this could be a partnership. So maybe he's talking about a partnership between Diddy and Jay-Z, or maybe if they will be tried together or separate. I don't really necessarily feel like this particular thing will be taking Jay-Z in, but maybe it will. We probably will do a part 2 on Jay-Z by the end of this week or sometime soon. Don't hold me to no specific date. I'll be going off how I feel in a moment, TBH. But I'm seeing some conflict against Jay-Z and Diddy. So let's see. Is Tony Buzbee being honest with at least majority of, because we know that he has a few different people. I'm under the assumption that he has a few different people that are making claims against Diddy. So is most of Tony Buzbee's clients in suits against Diddy legit and truthful? Is most of these legit and truthful when it comes to Diddy from Tony Buzbee? I'm hearing Gray Area song by 2 Chainz. All the shit I have done, I could not believe in karma. But again, I feel like that could go both ways, right? Diddy J, and also can go for Tony, like I said, the villain with a purpose or a cause or whatever. Like, so again, it's showing me 50-50. I would lean more on the side of a lot of this against Diddy being truthful, but it may be the smaller charges that may be truthful when it comes. I know, y'all. Um, because again, if we're talking stealing, we're talking nefarious money, moving things illegally, taxes, killing people, things like that. Yeah, allegedly. But some of these other things, because see, this is something that just popped in my head. Now, when it comes to women and children and assaulting people, that's going to hit on people's heartstrings and they're going to feel sorry for people, so they're more inclined to believe that. But when you're talking about cheating the system and things like that, more so on that side, then people, just like with the CEO that was killed, and people say, oh, allegedly, if Luigi is the shooter, then they're like, yeah, we understand where he's coming from. Yeah, you know, because so now at this point, when it comes to people standing up for themselves and against government and things like that, they may not be so upset at the perpetrator. They be like, well, y'all do it. You know what I mean? So when it comes to cheating and hiding money and um, offshore accounts and things like that, people may not be so upset. But when it comes to harming women and children, that's going to play on people's heartstrings, and they're going to be like, yeah, you disgusting, you deserve this, woo, woo, woo. And I am not saying that they never done anything like that. Now, when it comes to people that, if you kidnapping people, trafficking people against their will and things like that is different from you being in a relationship with somebody and you beating on them and you treating them dirty. Both are uh, absolutely, nobody deserves that. But that is different than you kidnapping people and trafficking people and all that. And I am not saying that they did not do that. I'm not saying that. I'm just making a point so people can start understanding the way that these lawyers and other people are looking at this. And I don't know that to be fact. This is just, I'm gonna call it a download. Like, it just comes to my fucking head. It just is what it is. And typically it plays out that way. Um, that is what this is about. Very much like R. Kelly thing. We have been programmed since, a lot of us are around the same age. I'm in my mid 30s. As long as I can remember, they've been saying R. Kelly likes kids. He been touching on kids. He a bad person. Woo, woo, woo. And that may be true. That may be true. But I've been told that forever without. I'm just a kid. I'm just a person that keeps hearing this over and over. It's going to be in my subconscious. So therefore, I'm going to think that the first time somebody brings up R. Kelly, that's going to be the first thing that pops in my head is that he's a diddler, right? So without even question or seeing any evidence or anything that could resemble a small bit of evidence, I'm going to be like, yep, he did it. He right, right? But when we got to, I was ready, because it's the easiest thing to do is to agree when this trial came up, is that, yeah, he's fucked up, he did this, he need to go to jail. But when I started reading on this situation and when I started looking at the trial, not saying that he is innocent completely or anything like that, but how many times did they lie on that stand that we've seen with our own eyes and ears? Not something that can be seen this week, argue both sides of. Like, it's very inconsistent with how old these people were at the time, is very inconsistent with a lot of things. So they very much could be telling the truth. I'm just looking at cards. I'm just going off my own assumption and logic and stuff like that. But some of these things was not true. Some of these things were altered to seem a certain way, especially when we already have the mind frame of R. Kelly is this type of person. So it's a lot of programming that goes on. And luckily, throughout these last 5-10 years or so, people have been seeing things a little bit clearer than usual, and they're starting to put their thinking caps on and see things for what it is. And so This is not just a simple case of people harming women and children and things like that, if that be true or not. This is about specifically Black men having a lot of money, owning their own properties, cheating the system just like other races, white people, Arabs, Indians, Asians. They're doing the same thing, but maybe, I don't know. I'm not even going to speculate on why that's an issue for these other people that wish to come against them. We can assume a whole lot of things, right? But it's just not that simple. It's just not that clear and cut. And a lot of this stuff is not honest. I would love, love, love to sit here and agree with everything y'all saying when it came to Chris Brown. Every time I look at it, it say he did not take something from somebody without their will. I could be wrong. I could be seeing it wrong. Chris Brown may be abusive. It looks like he is based off what we've seen and what people are saying, but we don't know. Either somebody gonna say this is what he did or he didn't do. Like they can only say one of two things. You know what I mean? Like it's so he may be abusive, he may be a colorist, he may be this, that, and the third, but I don't see that he's assaulting people sexually. I don't see that. I don't know, y'all. I don't know. So let's just go ahead and clarify. I know I just ran it. But let's go ahead. So we asked if he is, most of these are legit when it comes to Diddy. So we do have some kidrons up here, and we're going to clarify them. But it's showing me 50-50 or 60-40 or whatever, right? Show me this here. This is about money. This is about intellectual and individual properties, y'all. Um, Now, one thing about me, and this is no shade to anybody, and again, I could be wrong, but this is just how my mind is working. I picked up on Diddy, and this rumor's been going around for a long time, right? I picked up on Diddy's 4, 5 years, I don't know, some years ago, having this big exposure. Um, and then if we go back and we look at the Idaho 4, the description of Brian Koberger, but I also have the ability to see when some shit is a lie. So yeah, I'm right that Diddy was going to have an exposure and it was going to be involving children, women, men, abuse, trafficking, all that stuff, right? But some of these things may be dropped when it comes to actually going to court. So whether he is innocent or not of doing things to children, those things may be dropped when it comes to court because maybe there's not enough evidence. I don't know. But so under this Page of Cups, we got this Knight of Wands, which for me, when it comes to children and this heavier energy, it is trafficking, assault, and all of that. But there is some type of walking away from that. Next card is the Justice. And I could be seeing it wrong. Justice again, that Page of Cups again, and the Ten of Swords. So whether that's true or not, something in that capacity will be dropped. Then we have the Page of Wands. Why? Lovers and the World in reverse. So again, so Page of Wands, so Page of Cups can be about messages, love message specifically, it could be communication, it could be, so many different things. Page of Wands, adventure, things moving forward, action, passion, creativity. But in this case, I feel like it's just representing a kid. I could be wrong. And then we're talking more about intimacy with children. And I feel like with that world there, especially wanting to be in reverse, because I feel like I know people be like, oh, this is the meaning of the cards, this, that, and the third. But we can't just be reading cards robotically with these definitions. You have to apply it to very specific situations and understand what that means and how to implement that information into what the fuck you're asking. So I know that I may not have definitions the same as some people with these cards, but I still be right. I be right. I ain't always right. I'm mostly right. Now, with that, so the world, I used to, whatever you give the definition of something, that's what it is. So that's why I'd be like, for me, that's that. For me, that's that. Like, you make, in this world, in general, energy, you give things meaning. So anyway, I'm ranting again. The world, for me, sometimes is endings, but typically it means like a positive outcome moving forward, transformation, things like that. It wants to be in reverse. Again, I feel like that is dropping something here. It may not be all, but something here is being dropped because Six of Pentacles. Either it's not enough information, not enough evidence, or what? Let's clarify. Look, going into karma space is not, there's the Five of Pentacles there. So why the Six of Pentacles? The Ace of Swords wanted to be in reverse. I really don't like doing reversals, but since this is such a sensitive topic, I want to like, you know, I don't know. Two of Pentacles, Seven of Wands. So some stuff may be dropped, some may not be dropped. Show me this. Five of Wands. Show me that. Death card and the Tower. So we is asking about Diddy. Some of this stuff not true. I would love to say all of it is true, but it's not. Nine of Wands. Ooh, okay. I want to go ahead and do this one again. We ended with Justice here with Strength. Pride. I just feel like sometimes like fighting a losing battle in some way, and that could be attributed to anybody in this whole conversation, right? Envy, deception, jealousy, discipline. I can accomplish what I set my mind to. Growth, I want to expand my awareness. Abundance, service. So somebody may have to pay out of money, out of pocket some money, but may not get jail time, or vice versa. Or I don't know. I could just be fucking wrong. Yeah. So as confident as everybody may seem on each side of this situation, it's a lot of doubts running through everybody's mind. So I think that I might be done with this one. We will do an update. We will look at if this thing with Jay-Z goes to court. We will be looking at that. And Diddy, we're going to be looking at that. We're going to be looking at, when the time comes, we'll go day by day like we did with R. Kelly. Before any of it starts, period, I'm going to do predictions for both or whatever. And, again, we'll just see how things unfold. Yeah, like I said, it's where this one had ended with that assault energy. Again, it's like something's not enough, over it, done. Like that part is just like, I don't know. Yeah, so that's what I got for y'all today. I'll probably do a part 2 on Buzbee. If I can think of anything else that may be relevant. We will look at Beyonce as well, probably tomorrow, to see how she's feeling, what her perception is of the whole situation, and all of that. If y'all have any specific questions, put them in the comments, and I will try to get to them. And enjoy the rest of y'all day. Later.